We can shine in a crowd, we never hesitate. Let us rise to the clouds.
You completely reprogrammed my brain. Like literally just took my brain, shook it, reprogrammed it. And then after I completed your program, actually I wasn't even finished your program when I decided to put in my resignation papers. It was January 4th, 2019 was when I left policing, and I was still a part of your program. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go for it. And honestly, it's been the best decision of my life. The first 3 months of 2019, I made a 6-figure income, and you told me I would. And I was like, there's no way I can make a 6-figure income in 3 months. Come on, Noel, like stop. So everything happened that.
My fellow Dreamaholics, it is great to be with you. Incredible to be with you. And again, a Dreamaholic is somebody who's completely committed to making their passions and dreams become a tangible reality. Look, I have a message for you today. We're talking about frequency and energy and how that relates with our overall success with whatever we're pursuing in life. A lot of people have no idea about the correlation between frequency and energy and vibration and what shows up in your actual life. You know what I mean? And so we're going to be going deep today. And by the way, if you are enjoying this, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and click the like button if you like what you're hearing, and make sure to share it with friends and family. Help us grow and spread this message, okay? So have you ever heard somebody say, if you just work really hard, if you just work your hard, keep your head up, stay clean, everything will work out for you? You ever heard that before? I think we all have, right? We've all heard that. Is it true? Partially. Partially. Yes, hard work is absolutely an element of creating success. No question about it. You got to work hard. But there's more to it than just physical output. There's more to it than that. And a lot of people have no idea that their thoughts and the frequency and the energy that's emitted makes a big difference in terms of the speed at which things can happen and what the ultimate outcome that happens. I think all of us can relate with the idea that everybody's watching this. As you're watching this, can you think of somebody who's worked hard their entire life? I'm grinding all my life. I sacrifice, hustle, pay the price, but they end up with nothing to show for it. Come on. How many of you know somebody? Let me know in the comments. Do you know people who have worked hard their entire lives and still have next to nothing to show for it? It's not just about hard work. There's more to it than that. Oh yes, there's more to it than that. And I'm going to start out, first of all, by recommending, there's a great book called The Science of Getting Rich by Dr. Wallace Wattles. It's a really, really good book. You should pick that one up, I guess. But as we're in our subject today, I want to talk to you a little bit about frequency and vibration and who and what we really are and what role that this plays in our overall success. Okay? Now, first and foremost, before I get deep into this subject, I know there's a lot of people out there who, if they haven't experienced it, if they haven't seen it for themselves, that they're going to say, this is poppycock, this is some new age crap, and blah, 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 blah. Right? So let's put that idea to bed, shall we? Do me a favor, everybody take your hands, go like this, bring your hands as close as you can together without touching, and start bringing your hands in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You're going to begin to feel a warmth or a magnetism in between your hands. You feeling that? You feeling that? See, first my videographer, because he's doing it. I guess at first he's like, nothing. But now he's like, holy shit, I can feel that. I can feel something. Yes, you're feeling that, right? What that energy you're feeling is actually your aura. You're actually feeling your aura, or the energy field that's around you. Just like the earth has an atmosphere, so do we. okay? Like this, and somebody says, oh my God, hashtag that. I just felt my aura, dude. So that's something that you can't see. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And a lot of you wouldn't have accepted that it existed unless you actually felt it. Because for most people, if you can't pick it up with your 5 sensory factors, which is sight, smell, taste, touch, and what's the last one? Hearing. If you can't pick it up with your 5 senses, then it's not real. It's fake. Witchcraft. Right? So just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real. Like as I'm talking to you right now, there are electromagnetic waves that are going through this room. Electromagnetic waves that are going through this room. Radio waves are going through this room. Can't see it, but it's here. Right now there's gravity in this room. Can't see it, but it's holding me down. Right? Thankfully, otherwise it'd be like, oh, these folks, right? It'd be a different kind of a ride. Huh? There's a lot of things that you can't see, but that doesn't mean that they're not real. So, as I'm getting into this conversation with you today, I need you to open up your mind a little bit. It's because some of you are working really hard, but unfortunately, a lot of those efforts are going to go in vain. Simply because you don't understand how your thoughts impact your reality. You don't get it. And once you begin to understand this, you begin to guard your thoughts with everything that you've got. Because the impact is huge. Huge, 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 huge. All right, so stay with me as we're going through this, okay? So, as I've said in some of my other videos, we are spiritual beings gifted with an intellect living in a physical body. Spiritual beings gifted with an intellect living in a physical body. So, if there is a dead body, and or a cadaver, what do we say happened to the person? Well, they've gone or left the body. That's the spirit or energy, depending on your belief system. That energy or spirit had intelligence connected to it, right? For most of us, right? Spiritual being gifted with an intellect living in a physical body. So the house, this is just a house, a vehicle, but it's not who you are. We are the ones that are moving and guiding this house. That's who you are. That spiritual being, gifted with an intellect, living in a physical being. So this body is just a mass of atoms moving at a rapid rate. And if you put it under an infrared camera, all you see is a mass of glowing energy or spirit, depending on your belief system. Okay? So we are non-physical beings having a physical experience. Okay? So as non-physical beings, we think in frequencies and vibration. We think in frequency and vibration. You really got to pay attention to this. Please listen. Please listen. So just to give you an example of something. So now if I dialed in on the FM dial in my radio to 98.7, what am I going to be listening to? Well, whatever is on that wavelength, whatever is on that frequency, that's what I'll be listening to, correct? Now, if I change the channel to 93.5, now what am I hearing? I'm hearing what's on 93.5, right? Can I be on 93.5 and still hear what's on 98.7? Of course not. You do not get access to what's on this frequency if you're dialed into this one. Now, if we flip over to the AM dial, like where I'm from in Toronto, 680, well, that's a news channel. Right there. So if you dial in at 680, you're going to get news. But the AM dial is a totally different frequency from the FM, correct? The frequency that you are dialed into dictates what you get access to from whatever is on that energy or that wavelength or whatever is on that frequency, whatever is coming in from that, okay? Hope that you're following me. Hope you're tracking me, okay? So what does this have to do with achieving your goals? What does this have to do with creating the reality that you want to create? Well, because we think in frequencies, we all have an object of our desire or a goal, right? We all have goals, things that we want to have in our lives. So let's just say as an example, vacation, something simple. So have you ever been in a situation where you said, you know what? I'd love to go on vacation. I want to go on vacation someday. You know what I mean? Like this, how many people love to go on vacation? Luis, your hand isn't up. You don't want to go on vacation? Who doesn't want to go on vacation? Everybody wants to go on vacation, right? Or at least most of us do. Want to have a vacation, right? Well, when you talk about a vacation, people are mistaking stating a preference, something that they would like, and making a decision. There's a difference between saying, I'd like to go on vacation, and I'm going on vacation. There's a difference between those two things. Are you getting what I'm saying? There is a difference between making a statement about what you'd like and saying, I'm doing this, I'm going, I'm booking. We're going to Tahiti. We're going to Jamaica. We're going to the Dominican Republic, baby. You know what I mean? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Right? All right. So like this, so let's just say you said, you know what? I'm going. That's a decision. Now, when have you really made the decision? When you go to the travel agent and put down your deposit. Say, I'm going for Christmas, December 24th, because I got to get in before Christmas, right? I'm going in December 24th. I'm going in to the Dominican Republic. That's where I'm going. So you're going to come join me in the Dominican Republic. You say, Noel seems like a really cool cat. I want to go join him in the DR, and let's have some fun. Let's go catch some fun in the sun, do some salsa, some merengue, some bachata, some dembow. What's good, right? Now, once you've made your deposit to the travel agent, now you're like, whew, now how am I going to come up with the rest of the money to pay for this trip? You've made the decision. You've booked the date. As soon as you've made the decision, you're like, how am I going to find the rest of the money to pay for this? As soon as you make a decision, your mind tunes up to the frequency of the object of your desire. Right now, you're on this frequency, the I would like to channel. As soon as you make a decision, now your mind tunes up to the frequency of the object of your desire. Now all of a sudden, you've switched frequency from 93.5 to 98.7. You just changed the frequency because now you're on the how can I channel. How can I make this happen? You're on the vacation channel. You're on the let's get into the gym and work this thing out and get in better shape so I can do that beach thing. Okay, are you getting what I'm saying? That's the channel that you're on. So now all of a sudden ideas start coming on. Okay, well I could maybe go do a little side hustle. I could make it. I could stay a little later, do a couple extra hours on the job. I could check into some of my investments. I could figure. You're starting to figure it out. But what happens is that as soon as you've made the decision to go, as soon as you've made the decision, your mind tunes up to that frequency. Now ideas begin to flow. Now, this is a very important thing. When those ideas begin to flow, different challenges begin to come up because for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Yeah, baby. Yeah. For every action you take, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now, so life starts coming at you. Well, your boss says, hey, I need you to do this extra paperwork. Hey, something happens in your business where, something comes up in your business where maybe you lost a client, something goes slow. Something happens. Life happens, and you start getting a bit discouraged. Or you had a goal that you were going to get X number of sales, because if I could just get a couple more sales in for them, and I can get this on time, I can get these new clients, I'm going to be good, and we're going to go on this vacation, and we're good, right? So what happens is that if it's going slow and you're getting a lot of no's, or you're getting negative response in your environment, you begin to get out of the spirit, and so you start tuning in to the discouragement channel. That's the frequency now you start to dial into, the discouragement channel. Okay? So it's kind of like, I'm going to relate this, and I just need everybody to be grown-ups in this for a moment. It's kind of, I want to kind of relate frequency to an orgasm. Okay? So how do you get an orgasm? Two people come together. They're enjoying each other. Things are happening. There's a bubble up. up of the energy. There's a bubble up of that energy. You're feeling good, yeah. You start getting high. And then just when you get to that point where you're ready to express, you say to your partner, don't stop whatever you do. Don't stop what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Now, if that person stops, you're like, oh, shit. Connection broken. Now you gotta start all over again. Right? You selfish but But if they continue, because so now you have to start to re-engage again. But if the person doesn't stop and they continue, all of a sudden you're like, what? Lord have mercy. Yes. Oh, hey, I thank you. Right? Because you're happy, because you expressed. Well, here's the thing. Frequency and energy works the same way. You've got to keep this idea, this thought in your mind. Because I'm just using vacation as an example. It could be launching your business and going after that business and go and take that, or taking your business to the next level. I want to go full time. I'm tired of doing this as a part-time thing. Inside of the next 6 months, we're going full time. That's it, period. The decision's been made. I'm in, let's go. Now I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the energy. I'm reaching out to more people, I'm connecting with more people, I'm making things happen. I'm getting mentorship, I'm getting guidance. I'm plugged in, I'm dialed in. I'm dialed in to the frequency of that objective because I am leaving my job. And I'll just give you an example. I've got people in my, who are graduates of mine. One of them, Sylvia Swider, she was a police officer in Toronto, Ontario. Like this, I guess, and that's Canada, for those people who don't know. And so when she was on the force for about, I think it was about 10 years or so. And then, but she had a little ways to go before she could go get that pension, right? And be able to retire. Her fear was leaving the job because it's a good pension, right? You know, and that money is pretty much guaranteed, you know what I mean? But then she had a business where she's selling these water machines, right? Like this, and so in her business, you know, she was like, you know, and I said to her, I said, well, you can go and create your own pension if you sell enough machines. You can go make something happen with that. And I said, you could retire yourself inside of 60 to 90 days if you really wanted to, because she was already making a couple grand a month. She was already doing well with her business, right? Sylvia cranked it. She made a decision. I'm going full time. Because when I started explaining to her how, because she's like, well, before actually, let me just dial this back a little bit. I had spoken with her about pensions, and I said to her, you know what? How do you think the police are able to give you a pension? They take a portion of your money that from your salary, I guess, and that's held back, and that's invested. And whether it's in real estate or businesses or whatever it's invested in, it's invested. Pension funds. It's called a pension fund, right? It's invested somewhere else, and then they generate that over time. So over the next 10, 15, 20 years, it's now accumulated to X amount, so now you can get a dividend payment from that comes from that pool of investors. Does that make sense? That's how pensions work. You can create your own pension. You don't have to depend on somebody else for that. She says, yeah, but what about my medical? You can go and get your own insurance and pay for that. And as a business person, it's a write-off. You can go get your own insurance policy. Go buy it. A couple $100 a month. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean? For what it's costing you to be there. So anyway, well, as soon as she got to the point where she made the decision, in fact, you know what? Let me run the clip right here of Sylvia sharing a little bit of her story and what happened for her.
You completely reprogrammed my brain. Like literally just took my brain, shook it, reprogrammed it, and then after I completed your program, actually I wasn't even finished your program when I decided to put in my resignation papers. It was January 4th, 2019 was when I left policing, and I was still a part of your program, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it, I'm gonna go for it. And honestly, it's been the best decision of my life. The first 3 months of 2019, I made a 6-figure income, and you told me I would. And I was like, there's no way I can make a 6-figure income in 3 months. Come on, Noel, like stop. So everything happened that you said. And
So I guess as we come closer to where you're at now, like, because Sylvia's actually retired herself. You know what I mean? Like, can you believe that? You're living off of investments?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, like I never even like I had this as a dream. I remember we did oh my God, my vision book that I made with you. I still have it. I brought it to Mexico. Like I left everything behind. My vision book came with me. And I got into the habit of every year on New Year's, I write down my goals. I'll write down all the different things I want to accomplish for that year. And I continue that book. And I even have my Dreamaholic pledge that I read. And I go back and I look at the vision book that I created, and so many things have come to fruition. Like I'm actually really impressed. So you taught me that, like manifesting.
Pretty cool, huh? This is what happens when you make a decision. You make a decision. Now, another graduate of mine, Ellie, when he had come into my classroom, he was at a job and he was at a crossroads because he wanted to build a consulting business and a speaking business and a training business. That's what he wanted to do. And when he came to meet with me, it was just a concept. That's it. He wanted to go full time and have his own business. I believe it was within about 8-9 months from the day that we met, that he went full time. Here's a clip of him.
Hello everyone, my name is Eli Barefo. I'm also with my kids right now. It's one of my daughters, my second daughter. And we're actually leaving Punta Cana right now, heading back to Toronto. I was with Noel. I took the Game Changer course in 2019. So I remember graduating from the course February 2019. And March 1st, I walked into my supervisor's office and I handed in my resignation letter. The Game Changer program has changed my entire life. It gave me a sense of purpose. So I remember I resigned. I started my motivational speaking business, and then COVID hit. I was able to partner with some few nursing agencies, and now I'm able to work across Ontario doing what I do, but getting paid well for it. Within the last 3 years, I've nearly hit the $1 million mark. I don't have the $1 million in my bank account because we're investing in properties. I'm now on my second investment property, so 3 properties altogether in Toronto. We've invested in Ghana, buying lands, building townhomes. I have a group of friends that we're building a resort in Ghana. The Game Changer course program changed my entire life. Gave me a sense of purpose, a sense of drive. I'm in Punta Cana right now. We just spent 7 days here. We're planning a trip to Mexico soon and a European tour soon. I remember putting these things on my vision board, something that Coach Noel helped us do. And exactly what I'm going on, the money that I'm making now, I'm making even more money now than I even put on my vision board.
Are you getting the picture here? Like, this is real. Like, this person who, from zero to almost $1 million net worth. And that's inside of 2 years. Yeah. But what do Sylvia and Ellie have in common? They made a decision. They stopped talking about what they wanted to do, but they made a decision. Now, they had all types of challenges come at them along the way, because challenges are inevitable. But when you dial into the right thing, and now she's plugged in because they were in my program, and in my programs, I always also tell people to get industry-specific mentorship. People who are in their industry that they're trying to get to that next level in, because they're going to have insights in that industry that I wouldn't have. But I can give you guidance and a support like this and get you going and give you some of those skills that you can make so that you can increase the sales and taking things to that next level. But you need to be dialed into the right messages. You need to have the right people around you who are giving you the right messages. And some of them had some different challenges where that was concerned, but they stayed focused. Remember, keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop. Stay in that spirit. Stay in the energy of the goal until you manifest. Most people quit before they manifest. You've got to get into the spirit of the thing. So yes, you're going to work, but you're also in the mindset of, it's already done. I've made the decision, and this is the date, and it's happening, and that's it. And you will do whatever you have to do in order to make that happen, but now you're in the spirit of expecting it to happen. And then, boom, it's magic. I can't even begin to explain to you. It is magic. It's not about, because, like one of my graduates, he was telling me that Jackie Chen, I guess, and he was explaining to me, Zaki Chen, sorry. He was saying to me, Noel, he kept talking to me about money. I gotta make money. I said, no. I said, focus on helping people. Change your energy and change your frequency. It's about making a difference. And the bigger difference that you make, the people who make the biggest difference get the biggest paychecks. The people who solve the biggest problems get the biggest paychecks. He had a goal of wanting to go and become independent. And today he's done exceptionally well. He's done exceptionally well like this. And here's a little clip of Zaki.
And how focusing on one thing that you're passionate about that's gonna really take you to the next level. I made a decision, and by end of October, I actually closed my machine business. I made a decision to stay in the financial services industry, mostly because I was able to help so many people out there, and my focus was clear and very, very, very straightforward. How many people can I help every given time? And here's what happened when I started to focus. Throughout the program, I started to be more and more busy. My schedule was starting to really pile up, and it was like, okay, you need to meet me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be about 2 weeks from now because I'm kind of busy. I cannot actually see even if I wanted. And the magic started to create. Actually, it was so great that once the group session finished, at that point I was already in a position to afford to go on one-on-one a program with Noel, which even boosted me more to where I started. And by January, when most of the colleagues in the industry, because it's a weak month because it's after celebration of Christmas, bills are coming. I was busy. I was like 2-3 weeks time to actually see me and not losing the focusing of only helping people. That was the only thing I was concerned is let's help people, that's it. But the more I was forgetting about the money, the more the money was kind of coming to me, and that's magic.
So I do all of that to share with you that these is living proof, because I wanted to give you the receipts. These are people who got into the right frequency. And you heard Zaki said it's like magic. Things just started happening. And all of a sudden he's got all these clients and he started to crush it. And all of a sudden he's busy in months where this December and January were supposed to be slow months, and he's crushing it. I'm talking about the frequency and vibration. Whatever your dominant thoughts are reflective, are what's going to come up, because that's what you're magnetized to. That's the frequency that you're functioning on. You've got to get off the doubt channel, the frustration channel, the angry channel, the desperate channel, the envious channel, the greed channel. You got to get off those channels into the vision channel, optimistic channel, happy channel, joyful channel, grateful channel. You want to get tuned into that frequency. You want to be tuned into this frequency right here. Happy. Excited, joyful. This is the frequency you want to dial into. So powerful. Yes, thank you. We want to be dialed into powerful frequency. So I want you to dial in. Think about what your objective is. I want you to make a decision. Then each day you're going to be talking about it to yourself. Yes, I'm making this thing happen. Yes, it's happening. I'm so grateful that it's happening. And then you start looking at what are the things that you would do when you actually have materialized it. So some of those things. So if you're going on vacation, start looking at them bikinis. Start looking at them shorts. You know what I mean? Start looking at the outfits you're going to be getting. Start thinking about all the things you're going to be doing to go on that vacation. So start looking at the places you're going to be shopping if it's for your business. Start looking at where I'm going to shop like this, and go start trying on them watches, them nice new watches. Start looking at those nice clothes. Start going to the car dealerships and start looking at those nice cars and smell the leather and this is mine, baby. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. Get into the frequency of it. Everything you can do, and avoid anybody who has conversations that are run contrary to this. Avoid and stay away from negative thoughts. In the Science of Getting Rich, Wallace Waddell says, if you want to get rich, you have to stay away from anything that has to do with the idea of poverty and not having. You got to stay away from it. And the people who got negative thinking, avoid them like the plague. I didn't say judge them, I said avoid them. Okay? Avoid. Avoid them so that you can gain everything that you're after. This is part 1 on frequency. Hope that you really enjoyed this. If you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments. Share this with friends and family. And I'm really excited for you. If you dial into this and you begin to exercise this power that God has given us. God has given us the tools that we can use to create whatever we want. You understanding who we are and getting into the right spirit, in the right spirit of it, changes everything. It's not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. You got to get into the right energy, the right frequency, the right spirit, and the world is your oyster. Let's go. Have a truly powerful day, and let's continue to grow together.
We can shine in a crowd, we never hesitate. Let us rise to the cloud.